my vengeance upon thee. When I'm sad, I be dreaming about 100 racks. I'm paper chasing, ain't no faking where them hundreds at. Said I'm gon' get it on the bad day, I know that's a fact. It ain't enough, so sure enough, no, we gon' run it back. It's a little hoodlum, but I always been a classy act. If it ain't paying, then what's the point in laughing back? We move in silence, peace or violence, if it's that, it's that. Easy E and my boy Harlow got me sporting black on black. There I go, switching the flow of things like I control the scene. I hit my shoulder lean, they used to skip me and now they notice me. If you want my undivided, then you pay the open fee. Check the debt, I showed respect and now I feel it's owed to me. We bout action, I ain't known to speak, just putting over T. I got a dream that my babies know respect the old of me. That's the difference being a king with just the look, we know the sheep. Life's a game to these cowards, when we see them you know it's beef. When I'm sad, I be dreaming about 100 racks. I'm paper chasing, ain't no faking where them hundreds at. Said I'm gon' get it on the bad day, I know that's a fact. It ain't enough, so sure enough, no, we gon' run it, run it, run it. When I'm sad, I be dreaming about 100 racks. I'm paper chasing, ain't no faking where them hundreds at. Said I'm gon' get it on the bad day, I know that's a fact. It ain't enough, so sure enough, no, we gon' run it, run it, run it back.
Buenos días, hoy no tuve que fumar para despertarme con alegría.
Oh yeah.
Buenos días, hoy no me importa bañarme con cubeta llena de agua fría. ¿Quién diría de ser Arjona que algún día yo sería feliz por otra ronda? Es que pensé que ya se me iba la onda. Pude superar las situaciones que incomodaban las bolsas, pero estoy en mi bag, estoy compartiendo en silencio, I'm giving back. Mi familia es primero, llegaron más. El árbol y las ramas bien alto crecerán. Seguimos plantando semillas. A lo largo los principios y modales benefician. Estoy agradecido por lo bueno y lo malo que construye hoy mi vida.
Oh, yeah.
Nunca será perfecta y quizás siga fallando, pero siempre se respeta al que no se queda abajo. Buenos días, hoy no tuve que fumar para despertarme con alegría. Buenos días, hoy no me importa bañarme con cubeta llena de agua fría. ¿Quién diría de ese Arjona que algún día yo sería feliz por otra ronda? ¿Quién diría de ese Arjona? Siempre he sido mañanero y no me gusta el café. Acelerado me despierto y no sabría decir por qué, pero ahora me relajo y antes de prender el cel me pongo a analizar todo lo que yo soñé. Era hora de aprender, el tiempo es mi poder. Ese tiempo en la mañana hace mi mente encender, iniciando el día al 100 de alegría el saber que yo controlo mi vida y bien mi tiempo utilicé. Seguimos plantando semillas, a lo largo los principios y modales benefician. Estoy agradecido por lo bueno y lo malo que construye hoy mi vida. Nunca será perfecta y quizás siga fallando, pero siempre se respeta al que no se queda abajo. Buenos días. Buenos días. Buenos días.
I don't care if you're on your deathbed and you're dying and it hurts and anything, you have to promise yourself before you get there that you are not going to go home a loser. I would rather die than acknowledge to myself that I'm that loser. There is nothing that I won't do. There's nothing that I won't do.
Boy, I gotta work. I'm my grizzly from the first. I'm the truest, watch me prove it. Boy, I do this till it hurts. Boy, I gotta work. Said I gotta work. You don't got this in your soul. Yeah, you better search. Yeah, work. Said I gotta work. Grizzly boy, back to work. Man, I got it from the dirt. Yeah, work. Boy, I gotta work. You don't got this in your soul. Yeah, you better search. I've been prepping all week. I can see it in my sleep. Out here stepping as a legend. See these roads ain't for the weak. If you saw how I see it, you would see an Everest peak. That's the goal for me to climb every time I go compete. And it's never out of reach. I don't need some dumb speech. I got me and that's enough. Trust your boy's a fucking beast. Boy, sow it till it reaps. You better dig deep. Cause if you don't, the past goes are out the fucking eat. What was then is it now. You can see I made a vow. It's gonna take everything. You can hear the place pound. We built it from the ground. Want a monster hear the sound. Yeah, 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 yeah. Want a monster hears the sound. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'ma roll into the front. I'm the first to show up and the last to take my cuts. Oppenheimer blowing up. Let's go. You ain't here to work. Nah, blood, sweat, and tears a must if you plan to overcome. I gotta work. I'm a grizzly from the first. I'm the truest. Watch me prove it. Boy, I do this till it hurts. Boy, I gotta work. Yeah. Said I gotta work. You don't got this in your soul. Yeah, you better search. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, oh shit. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? I didn't mean to remove it from the entire stage. Shit, man. Hold on one second. Let me make sure. Because I can't hear me. Check, 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 check. Let me know, chat. Can you guys hear me right now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check, check, check. I think you guys can. Yeah. Both mic and soundboard loud and clear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. What up, y'all? What up? What up? Welcome back to Run It Back, episode Who Gives a Fuck? My name is Gabino Grhymes, and at Mic Masters 801 on everything, as you already know, Doug. And I want to start by saying, as you know, per normal. Hold on. Let me turn on my phone. Look at, man, it's already messing the whole joint up. Bear with me. Okay. Per the usual, salute to the Mic Masters Inner Circle, our backbone, our foundation. Thank you for your support. Want to be part of it? Just click join if you're on your desktop right now and support the movement, directly impacting our events, directly impacting what our impact is to the community and for Mic Masters as a whole. So thank you. Big ups to all the members. Oh shit! I almost get. You know what? All right, that's two to the members. What's up, Kid Poetic? Okay, both. Thank you very much. Anyone? What's good? What's good? How are you? Man, what an event, right? For the circuit to start like the year here in Salt Lake for Mic Masters off in the way that they did at the Herc, by the way. And just very impressed with how that went down. I'm excited to talk to Mike. Mike Bailey is going to join us here live here shortly to go over everything. And then, you know, of course, we'll break down the battles that happened, some of the battles that did not happen. And we won't break down the battles that did not happen, excuse me. But I want to like, I really haven't talked to him like with intent to find out outside of like inner workings and operations and logistics, right? I'm talking about like his own feelings about it and so on and so forth around the event. So I'm excited to talk to him about that. Scott might be joining us next week as well, but Atheist, excuse me. But just incredible time, man. Like as far as a spectator is concerned, man, I had a lot of fun watching. And obviously, I don't, you know, how I approach things, and it's kind of like, you know, how it ends up turning into the, you know, Mic Masters and the ventures we're on is like, yeah, like 90% of it went well. You know, we're always focusing on the 10% to make that even just like 91% better or 1% better, right? You know, we'll look at that, you know, behind the curtain or whatever. But overall, man, I am so impressed with everyone that was there. Chilling, bro, taking a break at work. Stoked to hear this episode. Yeah, me too. But yeah, like I think that is like one of the most important pieces is always to pat yourself on the back for the 90% that you did right, but 100% of your focus and attention should go to the 10%. Whatever obviously percentages are arbitrary in nature, not in mathematics, but in nature. And so, we just want to take a look at those. But having said that, I mean, the stream looks great. If you have not watched the stream yet, guys, come on, stop. You're playing yourself. It's it's an event that, how did you miss it type of shit. I'm going to post it right here so that if you have not watched the event, you're tripping. Also, hey, I learned something. Regarding live streams and music utilized. And okay, so really quick, here's the event, right? So let's make sure that we click that. There we go. Okay. To watch the whole thing back. Yeah. I mean, there's like significant value and worth in what they both, like Scott and Mike, really put together for it. So, again, as a fan, like I was watching it, like I would watch like any other league, even though obviously knowing the under tale of it being Mic Masters Alliance, so I did my best to disassociate myself and just like be a fan to some degree. And for the most part, I got that to work because I was just so excited for like the next joint. And then I thought it was cool, like the intermissions. So what I learned was like during the intermission pieces of being able to, make those, the graphic and then the music underneath it. That was just, I can't, in 3 years, you're just always learning. So that was cool. That's not to say like for our next pay-per-view on May 24th for Spring Training 2, that there will not be a full ass fucking broadcast because we are going to be having a lot of folks that are going to be involved in that. So very excited about that. But the point I'm making is that, strive to learn, strive to create, strive to be able to put your ego to the side to be able to understand that there's something more out there. So, and that you don't always have, look, none of us have it right 100% of the time. Right. So like, that's like super big. And that's something that I understood even going into this. And so like the setup for it, I was just like, man, I know that we're trying to go basic here, but basic to like us, right? There's so many leagues that like they're not doing it like that, in-house. That's what I'll say. On that Spring Training 2 note. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, just a lot of fun as a fan watching it, and I'll talk to Mike about that here in a second. And as we're going through this, obviously I mentioned that there's a big announcement for Spring Training 2. We have 3 battle. We'll wait. Okay. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Billy Bones. What does that mean? What does that mean? Say it in the chat. All right. Okay. Here we go. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Mike Bailey.
Work.
Yeah, sorry, Mike. Dang, dog. How are you, sir?
Good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, man. 1 second. I apologize. There we go. There we go. Okay. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bailey. So hold on. First off, I saw that you had your phone on vertical. Or excuse me, horizontal, and then is it because
you want it horizontal?
Do we not want to see the back? Is that what I'm gathering?
Oh, the back is full of equipment. Do you want it horizontal?
Yeah, horizontal. Yeah, let's go. There we go. Let's pitch that up. There we go. Look, he's even got a sun flare in there and everything.
It's just gonna have to work that way.
That's all good.
But yeah, what's up? What's up, man?
No, I got you. Honestly, through our conversations after First Blood, I've been eager to get this episode. So last week, obviously, did not happen, and that's I said on I think I made mention of this, that for the next couple weeks, at least through the rest of May for sure. I said 6 weeks, right? 5 weeks. Anyway, I'm working out, internals as far as like a daycare situation is concerned. So our normal time that we normally get on at 3, we're not. But last Wednesday just turned out to be a different show, So as far as not being able to get. So how am I doing? I am so excited to talk about your feedback about First Blood, go through the battles. How am I feeling? I am feeling very excited about Spring Training 2 and about wrapped up with, some of the key parts of it. How do I feel? Man, I am I'm blessed, bro. I feel grateful and all that. So it's Mic Masters over everything. That's what it is. So that's how I feel. How do you feel?
Man, I feel good. I feel grateful and blessed, honestly. I just love the fact that, everything that we had talked about when you put me and Scott on this mission, was about accomplishing everything that we could without stretching ourselves too thin or whatever, and keeping it basic in some ways, but still living up to the brand. And I think that we exceeded that. Like, I think that we, every single thing that I thought could have gone wrong did not go wrong, and everything I wanted to go good went a little better than I even expected. So I love that event, dude. That's how I'm feeling about that. It was a crazy first event. You don't see leagues come out with first events like that. Granted, it's not our first event, but for this branch, it is, And then, yeah, with you mentioned in Spring Training, I'm also super excited because I get to be a rapper and a fan, I don't have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off all night.
Oh, hold on. You're now on the team, so there's going to be some, Doug. So don't.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But it won't be as much, It won't be as bad.
Yeah. I'm in the
no.
there. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
It was crazy because except for our little surprise battle that we freestyled, right? Because we had a couple rappers who still want to get their stuff off and their opponents couldn't make it, sadly. So other than that, me and Lady, we were basically last. And so the whole night, I'm so focused on everything else that comes with the event, from making sure that our food guy was good, from making sure that, the front door was good, to make sure the equipment was running smooth and no batteries needed to be swapped, and all these things, getting rappers ready. And so by the time I got up to rap, oh man, I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it or not, but I pulled it off. We had a crazy battle too. So every battle that night was good, man.
We'll talk about it. Well, good. So you're in a good space. Give it up for Mike being in a good space and I being in a good space. Let's go.
He's on fire.
Let's talk to the comments really quick. Billy, you mentioned spring training 2, and I was basically saying elaborate on them event details. We will later. I promise you. I'm glad that Spades and Billy. What's up, Billy? What's up, Spades? Host the Butter Pecan Puerto Rican. How's it going, fellas? How are you, sir? How are you? Thank you for obviously tuning in, but also being strong member of the team. And then Lucky Desperado, yo, MMA, that's what's up, my G, what's up?
Perfect.
What?
All right, let's start here. Okay, Mike, let's talk about the full event.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about how is God damn it. Hold on, you know what? Fuck it. This is a sidebar, so we're gonna start with this just because it was already. Where is Charlie? Nez.
Yeah, this is a great question.
Yeah, let's start here. So go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you lead.
That one was a little devastating.
A little bit. Tilt your phone up a little bit because your hat is. There we go.
It's hard. It doesn't want to stay like this. Hold on.
It's all right. Taking that. It's okay. We're on a live. There we go. All good. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. No, that one in itself was heartbreaking because when we first started putting the card together, that was my initial idea for a good battle to hold the card down. And so when me and Scott were first putting it together, I said, "Yo, let's reach out to Charlie," and he was super excited. I don't know what came up. He was in contact with us as much as he could be leading up to the event. Um, and then just like even the day before, he had talked to Scott and was excited and was gonna be on his way. So the last I heard is that he would be on his way. So I never got told that he wasn't gonna be there. So therefore Nez never got told that. Nez was there the whole night ready to rap. And then when we got about
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
you know,
whoa, 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 whoa! Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. We weren't told that at all.
no, unless somebody was told outside of me, Scott, and Nez, but none of us knew. Um And so after a battle or two, it started to become pretty obvious that it wasn't going to happen. But Nez still hung out, man. He still did things to help. He judged some battles. He handled it the best that you could handle it. So, I
No,
mean, honestly,
no.
hats off to Nez.
Hold up a minute. Hold up a minute. We did not hear about that the whole night.
No,
He literally no-showed for real.
Yeah, like he didn't tell us that he wasn't. He didn't tell us that he wasn't going to make it.
Guys, I told you that I outside of like some of the other operations, I've been waiting for this. Like, this is crazy. Beans and Rice said, Charlie said it was a home battle for him. I think he literally meant it, Nez.
That's so crazy.
And he wants to put that on a shirt because because Nez said wear Charlie. Also, belt to ass on UtahRapper.com right now. That merch. I did not know that. I did not know that. I know that he's been recently posting, so I like even, I want to get on one of those posts and be like,
stop it, get some help.
Oh my god.
And I think that there's something to be said about like, what are you doing? Like that's like wild, isn't it?
Yeah, I would like to hear
Of course,
from him.
Yeah.
But I guess she's got to roll with the punches sometimes, man. And Nez helped a lot that night.
Whoa.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You have still not heard from him?
No, I have not. No.
Hey, Charlie.
Why are you gay?
Oh my god.
Do the question here is, do no shows damage booking potential in any sort? Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah, it does. It
Go ahead, Mike. You start, and then I'll say how it works for my.
Yeah, I mean, on the bigger side of things, I'm not exactly sure, but for us right now, where we're at, it just kind of takes you off the table. If you had messaged and said, "Hey, something popped up. I've got this family thing going on, and I can't make it," we can work with you. But if you're not gonna say anything at all, it just makes me not want to ever book you again.
Fatality.
Agreed. So that's it. I mean, that's the explanation. So I'll expand on that a little as far as look, because I deal with folks that have canceled after getting their flight and getting their hotel, and they did not do it day of, though. So
yeah.
The most recent time that this happened was at the semis, and that was because of that big outage. And so folks were like, stuck. That's the reason why Danny and 40 did not happen at that event. Obviously, it was going to happen. I mean, 40 was there at Logan International Airport in Boston. I think she stayed the night there. So I do have two other stories though, of folks that did cancel after getting their bookings. And the biggest like feedback I can give is, look, let me know 3 day. No, dog, let me know as soon as you can, you know. But if it's like 3 days before, I mean, I think I posted this. Like, it's got to be good, and it's also got to be real, I guess, you know. But to completely not answer your phone and like no call, no show, like my next question just only again, I don't know this, but was there any sort of promise made as far as like any sort of like external payment or what have you? I'm asking you.
No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So so I'll expand on that further.
Wait, do you mean like were we offering him money to come out? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So again, Charlie.
Why are you gay?
All good. So what I feel about that in particular, just like straight up no calling, no showing. What? Especially after the face off.
It was the best face off.
Like that was the battle I had the least worry about. I mean,
yeah.
I carry 1% worry no matter what for folks that are not from here, battling here, always, you know. But after that face off, you know, I was like, oh no, like this guy wants to, you know, make his presence and do that. And I don't like it. Charlie, if you are listening, or should you listen, if this gets I don't know, maybe clipped by anyone that's listening right now, maybe sent to him. Outside of reaching out to Mike and Scott, reach out to me for sure. That's outside of it being disrespectful. It's not how we run, and we're not backyard. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was like literally Nez was waiting around and, hey, is Charlie going to show up? Hey, is Charlie going to show up? And you're, I got you, homie. You know, that's what you're telling him. And then nothing. So that's disappointing. Sorry, I went on a huge rant about that, guys, but that's out fucking outrageous to me, bro.
Yeah, like even a call, man, like a day before, a couple days before, a week before, a call or a text or a damn message, just so that we didn't have Nez standing around ready to rap would have been good.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Right, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll move past it, right? Also, just to plug this in real quick, Scott, you know, he wanted to be here. He can't be here right now, but I look forward to hearing what he has to say about all of this in the future.
Oh, Scott, yeah.
Yeah. Or atheist. Sorry, atheist.
Oh, yeah. Dog, when we're referring to the circuit, it's Scott. That's what I'm putting the fucking flag in the ground. That's what's happening, okay?
That's fine.
Nez says, shout out Scott and Mike, though. Solid job of communicating. So that's good to you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nez. Thank you. And honestly, again, one more time, shout out to Nez because, dude, he helped with so much stuff that night. And one of my favorite things was getting to see him judge and, you know, be willing to participate even with the bad news. So that's really cool.
Hey, give it up to Nez really quick. Thank you, Nez. Obviously, I already know how, you know, game time you are, so that's great. I know, you know, I appreciate that a lot. So great. Lucky, no way you didn't. Oh my god. Okay, well, I mean, look, that's crazy. What up, Henny? How are you, man? How are you?
So Henny.
Okay, so let's move on from that. Let's
Yeah.
Let's move on. I want to put a final on that though, from my perspective, because this is not like some sort of aggressive take at all. It's all a different perspective from me at this point as far as business is concerned. And also, you know, like with shit that I do already, even with folks in my own league, I'm on my roster right now that have done this before. Not egregiously like straight up no call, no showed, but have even just any of that. So and it's always been handled in a fashion that's like, hey man, if I can't trust you, then like, look, I'm fucking filming, I'm getting you a music video, and I know that you put in the time and work, but just make sure you communicate with me. Let's just make sure you communicate with me. And so it turns into a conversation. And anyone said it up here. He said communication is key. So, oh no, he didn't.
Man.
He probably clipped himself.
Damn,
That might be the hardest bar you've ever fucking said, right? Even in a battle. My bad. That's all good.
I got you, home.
Shout out anyone too for a solid, crazy, good performance, man. He had everybody in there having fun. The DJ was phenomenal. So yeah, I just shout out to that set, anyone. You killed it.
Great job, man. Great job. No, that was dope too, and I'm glad that we got that live stream too. That was so sick, man. It's just always good to be able to get that that presence felt, All right, let's reel back. Let's reel back. Go back. Let's go to the start of the night. Things are getting ready, so on and so forth. I just want to talk and walk with you through the experience and the different hat you wore, and let the people know that.
Yeah, man. So obviously, when you're handling this side of everything, when you're not just showing up to rap, because this was my first time, co-running an event, and you show up a lot earlier. So, my day typically when I have a battle, I wake up and I go out to eat and I try to get my mind right and I focus up and I practice my rounds. But it wasn't like that. It was like I woke up, got ready for the day, and I was at the venue. I think me, you, and Scott all got there. What time was it? 1:30 or 2:30, something like that. And the event wasn't, didn't start till 6:30. So that kind of just shows you the amount of work that goes into it. It went smooth because we had a lot of good people. We had me, you, Scott, George, Hiram. We had a lot of people show up early to really get everything going. And Hiram's another dude that needs huge props because this was his first time. Being involved in part of the staff, and he did so great, man. He had guys mic'd up. He had he made sure the live stream was running good. There was a few of us checking on the live stream, but dude, Hiram killed it too. But the feeling going into it was so much more anxiety than normal because I know I have to rap. That though I had to force to the back of my head. I couldn't even focus on that part. I was so concerned about things like who's going to show up, who's not going to show up. I was so concerned about, I brought out this food guy. Is he going to be able to sell food? I was so concerned about, I don't want people to show up and get into fights and things like that. All these things are running through your head, equipment failures or things like this. So, a lot of stress, and just to see the final product, like I watched the live stream from start to finish, and to see, the final product of the live stream, not the battles themselves, but just the whole stream, dude, it was such a good payoff. It's so rewarding. I'm addicted. I think I like it more than battling. I like running the show, I like doing that stuff more. Not that I don't like battling. It's so cool when you can sit back when it's all done and you're exhausted and you can look at what you did and you have people laughing and talking and you realize that, like, yo, I just helped to bring all these people here, and that was cool.
That's wild. That's wild. Everybody give it up, man. Different experience for sure. I totally get where you're coming from on that perspective, and making sure that everything's in place. Okay, so we got everything in place. Everything's good. We're rolling. Boom. First battle of the night. Slicks and Marks.
Dude,
go.
And so
There we go.
Yeah, game time decision. Okay.
Your car speakers, all good.
Oh yeah. It's game time decision though. Me and Scott had talked about it. We wanted a good battle because it's going to be the first battle in circuit history, right? It's not the first Mic Masters battle, but it is the first circuit Mic Masters battle. And we wanted it to be one that would come out with a bang, and it did, bro. Slicks and Marks put on a show. Marks felt like he stumbled in the third, and like I get where he's coming from, but he recovered so clean.
Oh, bad.
he had so much aggression, and Slicks, man, he brought more aggression than he usually does, but he stayed true to that Slicks pocket he has, right? That calm, smooth operator. Like, he was really up there working. Both of them were. And so me and Scott had decided we had to co-host that battle. We weren't interested. We trusted the host we have. He's tested and true. But first circuit battle ever, we wanted to be up there for that one too, and we were there. We were there the whole time, but we had to be front and center for that one. And I'm so proud of both of those rappers. That's what's crazy about the circuit, saying every battle is going to be judged, because a lot of those battles were hard to judge, and that was one that was hard to judge. It was a good battle.
Yeah.
And I think both of them could walk away and say, "Oh, I got that 2-1."
I do too. Also, I'll start there. I think that well, let me lean into what you initially said as far as what resonated with me just now is that the recognition of the moment, and a lot of people don't generally do that. So like, you're already in the 1% of that, just being able to be like, hold up. I know everything's going on, but this is like the first one of the first, kudos on that. For real. Like, I'm just telling you, I think that's really dope. And then for that explosive of a battle, to get it started, Marks did not disappoint. And also, like, I think one of his better performances. I would venture to guess. I actually, in fact, I'm not guessing, because I've seen his battles, and I was just like, God damn it, dog! Hell yeah, you took this seriously. And then the lighting, the ambiance. So we haven't even talked about the Herc yet, but yeah, that was so big for me. And then for Slicks, to see how well he has really continued to make it a point to upgrade his craft, has been incredibly cool to watch. It's super fantastic to be able to witness what a battler will continue to do, because they trust where they're at. So that it's like not just like them being like, oh yeah, it's like comfortability and also trust, so that speaks well to the environment and what has gone on. And to have that battle be the cover the bomb, which is like the first person that goes on. I mean, great fucking work there.
And one last little thought I had on that battle was, I thought it was interesting because every battle, you could say a battler has one job, and that's to go out and win, right? But they both had one like clearly defined job to me in this battle. And for Marks, it was, hey, I'm hungry. I've been trying to come to Utah. I've been trying to fuck with Mic Masters, and you guys are giving me an opportunity now to get into that umbrella and work my way to the main stage. And so his job was to come out and prove that he belongs out here on our cards, both circuit and the main stage. And he accomplished that. Slick's job was clear. You are battling somebody who's hungry. You need to defend your turf. You cannot lose at home. And he did his job. So it was just a crazy battle, dude. I watched both of them do exactly what they told me they were going to do.
Man, with that said, so I have Marks taking the first round.
Yes.
I do have Slicks taking the second slightly. That's the
debatable round.
Right. That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
That's the round that that's the round that I could debatable. Yeah. And then the third round I do give it to Slicks.
So this is how I judged it personally. The first is clear for Marks.
Man,
the
fucking
third,
firing, bro. Firing.
The third is clear for Slicks. The second is the debatable round. So then I kind of decided which was the clearest out of the two clears. And I thought Slicks had a little more of a decisive win in that third round. And that's where I think I agree with edging the win to Slicks, but I think it's debatable enough to argue both sides.
Yeah. Here's the thing also with so I agree. I do, again, go back to the second round on that. I here's the thing with like judge battles, like if it's so close, like that's for battlers that intend on continuing to battle, like that's a win. So that, like, I want to make sure to like say that, like that's definitely not a loss. That if you lost by, a few points or whatever the fuck. If you lost like a whole ass amount of points, I mean, that's like drawing board shit, like that's a whole other fucking thing. Especially because of how intricate the scorecards are. So, from Slick's perspective, as far as that goes, Mike, just so that we move on to the next one. What do you see in Slick's future? Not just, what do you see? What do you see for Slicks? Because you have a little bit more of a, communicative relationship with him.
Yeah, so I would say the one thing that's kind of funny about Slicks is from the outside looking in, he seems like someone who doesn't take battle rap as serious as some of us. He seems like someone who's more invested in his music and is only battling because it's happening. Like, he kind of gives off that vibe. But once you get to know him, you realize how hungry he actually is. And once you talk to him, you see how much he actually wants to make his name in battle rap. So with him, man, the only thing that could stop him is literally himself. Because right now, every battle he has showed improvement. Every battle he showed how much he wanted it. That going to Atlanta at his age, not knowing if he had a bed to sleep in, and not knowing if Ghost took off without him or not, and him having to go out to Atlanta with literally no guarantee. And his whole thing was, I don't care if I have to sleep at the park or the airport, I'm gonna rap. And it was for a 1-rounder, which that was Mark's best angle. You went all the way to Atlanta for a 1-rounder. That was crazy. But he did that. That shows how bad he wants it. He showed progression every battle that he's in. Like, we're just looking at another crazy come up, right? This is what we saw with Spades, and now we're seeing it with Slicks. And to me, it gives me a lot of hope because it tells me that our next class is building slowly but surely.
Absolutely. And there's new people. There's new people that are, hitting up the inbox. So if you have not, if tell a friend to tell a friend at the Circuit 801, or of course at Mic Masters 801, and I will make sure that they get forwarded over to the Circuit 801 to get on a Circuit card. So yeah, but I agree with you. Everything that you just said. I think that I do admittedly want to hear a bit more pockets out of Certs, or excuse me, not Certs. I'm thinking of Ghost and Certs in the next battle right now. Out of Slicks, rather. I would, especially because you're talking about like his music or whatever. Like, I would like to hear a couple more pockets.
Don't disagree. I would like to see a speed change.
Yeah. Hey, Kid Poetic is going to be in the Circuit 801 inbox here shortly. Anyway, all good. Anyway, all good. So let's move on. Ghost versus Certs.
Another one that was crazy to me. So I noticed about our crowd real early in the night that we had a crowd that wanted to have fun. We had a crowd that just wanted to have a good time, man. So, on video, on video, this battle is going to look a lot crazier than it felt in the building. Because you're going to have a lot of people watching for the bars too, right? In the building, people were catching bars, but they were really reacting to jokes. They were really liking it that night. And so they both wrote so dense. They both had so much like hidden wordplay, hidden punchlines. And so that battle to me was so fun to watch just as a writer. I really appreciated that battle. It was another battle that I thought was close. I guess, I mean, if I hate calling, it feels like I shouldn't call winners in my spot, but I had Ghost winning. And it's because I have a big preference. I thought they were both writing great. I had a big preference to how Ghost delivered. But Certs was writing with him, punching with him. And if he was coming out here to show us that he can battle rap, I think he did that.
Perfect.
God damn, how do I punch that up further? Ghost has been Ghost. First off, I'm proud of both of them. Let's start there. What I think about when I was watching this battle, I was thoroughly impressed still yet again with Ghost's commitment and dedication to this. I mean, it's just a consistent level up. It's wild actually to watch, to be honest with you. And with Search, I was very impressed with his promotion. And I was also very impressed with his attention to detail. I was impressed with exactly what I get impressed with him, which is his writing ability. He's fucking really good, man. When a guy like Marv won, Marv won for sure, but like guys like that, it's like, yeah, man, Searchlight, I appreciate his, writing, man.
Yes.
Hey, pay attention, and so I like that Search has also made a put his flag in the sand, as it were, in the ground rather, to make a proper showing, especially like on the platform that speaks to the value we bring. I just keep going back to that because it's like so important, and if he didn't give a fuck, he wouldn't give a fuck, so having said that, I honestly, man, I like the delivery part of Ghost, and I appreciate all the punches he did.
Yep.
It's when it comes to Search, like I would also like ascertain if I was like on in his group of folks that are listening to him spar, his inner circle, what have you. I would maybe just speak into that piece a little bit more, like the delivery part, and that, I mean, if that's all you got to like shore up, bro, fuck, man, you're like 98% ahead of so many people.
Yeah, most people can't write as well as they need to.
That's what I'm saying.
And what I will say is this: Search had one of my favorite angles of the night, and probably my favorite angle of the night. Search had it, which was the whole you can't complain about people doing ghost flips, and the way he kept going through that way. That was wild. So crazy angles, crazy writing from both of them. Again, for that battle, it just has to come down to performance for me, and that's why I go Ghost. But Search proved that he can do everything he needs to do to battle except for perform. So we just need a little more there. And I think the second he embraces that and brings some aggression, it's over for a lot of people that stand in front of him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't entirely agree with like I just think that like it's like a tick. It's like a tick up, like if you're utilizing a rheostat, it's like going to like 70, just like a couple ticks. I'm not saying that I'm absolutely not saying that Search's performance is outrageous or whatever,
No.
It's what I'll say is that like it could get like you could get drowned out in a battle because of from a stellar performance is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And then on top of that, fucking bars, and then and the writing and the intricacies of how Ghost has been presenting himself. So
well, and just where Search is at now, he's at a place where people respect him as a battle rapper. So he's gonna be standing in front of people who can perform, and so that's all. Like, all of us need something to work on. That's all I have for him right now.
Yeah. Beans and Rice brought up a good point. Search took too long to take the mask off. He was being mindful, but we've all had monkeypox by now. Took longer for people to get into him, in my opinion. You know what? Honestly, outside of the joke there, that's real. Hey, we're all here. It's all good, and fuck it. We're already in a tuna can, so somebody's going to get sick if someone's going to get sick, you know. But I don't disagree with that. It's like that's a recognition of the moment, being in the moment, being like, fuck it, here we go, fuck it. Like that's that turn, you know, that recognition of the character, and you're just like, okay, cool, now it's that time, you know. So I do agree with that. As far like maybe like with being within the crowd and what have you. But having said all that, I do think that it's closer for me. I do think it's closer for me, and it goes back to these to the writing that Search can pull off. It's just like so much that went over the head, and I just think it's closer. I do have Ghost in a close 2-1.
Me too.
In a close 2-1. Having said that, I think I really hope, and based on what I've spoke with Search about, that this is a springboard for him to you know, greener pastures, as it were. You know.
Oh, it is. He's excited. He wants to come back out, and dude, he was sure. He made sure to message us the day after the event, and I can't say enough about his character. A very humble dude, very respectable, and I think that he wanted to come out here and have a good performance, have a good battle. He did that, and I just want to see what he does now.
Me too. No, give it up for those two, man. Okay. Atheist Spades.
Insane.
Walk me through it.
Oh man. This one was wild. There was no separation in this battle. Really, in all the battles.
Hold on, sir. This is in here right now. What's up, sir? All right, keep going.
In this battle, there was moments where I forgot that this was the circuit. I forgot that I was staff. I forgot that I had a job to do. I was just a fan. It was two opposite styles, and the rebuttals, dude, people were rebuttaling all night. Let's talk about that too. I forgot that in the first two, but everybody was rebuttaling, it felt like. But Spades and Atheist were really rebuttaling too. And I love Spades. You know, oh, I can scream too, like the screaming on him. Atheist had some like deep digging angles. Spades, dude, he was just so calm under pressure. Crazy battle for me. It's one that hurt me watching because I do feel that Atheist got it 2-1. But it was just crazy. It was a style clash that worked. That's the best way I know how to put it. It was a style clash that really worked.
Well, first off, I agree. Perfect. As far as like the style clash piece and the rebuttal piece. Well, let's talk about that here in a second. Well, you just spoke into it, so kudos to everyone that fucking rebutted. That's outrageous. So dope. Great to see, and keep doing it. This is what I'm pretty positive I said this in the live chat too. Like Spades was rapping, and yes. For me, that kind of internalizes like kind of the point. I know that I know where Atheist was hitting like some pretty big swings, man, pretty big swings. When you were just saying about like some of the what ended up kind of translating to something personal or whatever the case, he was taking some big swings. So like those are, you know, if the other person isn't affected by it, then those big swings are bunts, you know, and you're like, oh, you're out at first, you know. And so outside of the style clash, I knew that Atheist was locked in, and to be able to like be under the outside pressure, just super proud of both of you for sure. We'll talk to you about it next, but proud of him for not just delivering, but absolutely placating, and making it known that like that was a stage he wanted to be on, and And to your point, obviously that felt like a main stage battle. I personally, I have it. I do have it 2-1 spades personally.
Okay.
Um,
See, and I can see that how you get there. Because I tossed it back and forth. I've watched it 3 times.
sure.
For me, it's a close battle. It's the closest battle of the night, in my opinion. I do like that Spades had some new pockets. I do like how you said he was rapping, but I guess for me, I lean towards, I love heavy haymakers. I love heavy haymakers.
And Scott had him, or Atheist had him. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're talking about that character. Yeah. Yeah. No, that was, look, that's not oversighted. And I have not judged these battles on the official scorecard.
Of course.
I've watched them several times, and I think for me, where there was the like kind of distance being made, was the consistency and efficacy of like the punches, I guess, is where I was going at. Like, I know the scorecard in and out, obviously. Well, not obvious, but I know the scorecard in and out, and so like as I'm listening, I'm like, okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, well, you met that metric, boom, or I got to do it like a 3, and then okay, you didn't slip, so that's a performance is 3, and then so I'm like kind of going off of that, and I just think the punch count was a little higher. I do think that I do think the Atheist had, I do think the Atheist had more moments. I'll say that too. Whether it is one extra moment, that can sometimes sway a battle. So in my head, I think it was like Spades by a point type of thing, So yeah. I don't think that this was like, we're going far off on this, But again, I just go back to saying, like, sometimes even in a judge battle, if you're 10 points away from the other person, drawing board. If it's 1 to 2 points, 1 to 5 points, even, I mean, I would even say the 5 is a stretch. I mean, 1 to 3 points difference. Yes. That is clearly one that folks have to digest. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just super impressed with both, by the way. I gotta say that.
No, and we are in agreement on the disagreement, because you think, again, I haven't used the scorecard for these yet either. I'm in the exact same lane as you, except for I think the moments might put me Atheist by 1, right? But like, again, that is all you can ask for when you are running these events and you're booking these battles. You look at some battles and you say, this battle has potential. And then you look at other battles and you bet the house on it. We bet the house on this battle, and it worked.
That's, I mean, great point. How do you even refute that?
What?
He's on fire. My ultimate take on this fucking battle is I would like to see less friendly fire until playoff time. Like I mean, that's ultimately it, because I think that, and honestly, until things, I'll just be transparent about it. Until we get some more that are, some more folks that are taking this craft super serious, and bringing it to the level. I think what it did for the event, though, bar none, was, I mean, you could kind of feel it watching and listening, even on the live stream. You're like, oh shit, it's about to go down, So kudos to both. I think you guys look both fucking amazing. And, when we get that battle posted, I'm sure that there'll be some debate back and forth. All right. So what does he say? The face Spades made when Atheist called him Sebastian killed me. I don't even know. Oh shit. Okay. All right. I want to switch gears before we close it. Before we talk about your battle. I want to talk about Jose and hosting the whole event and putting things together on the back end of things and what have you. Go ahead and speak into that first, because I can only speak from a fan's perspective.
Yeah.
My thoughts are, so go ahead.
I mean, dude, he was just utter trash, right? Like, we could have had like anybody else in the crowd host, and it would have looked so much better. Honestly, I deleted his number out of my phone.
Oh my god.
No, dude, he is such a fucking good dude. That's where I want to start. He is genuinely a good dude who cares about community. And he kept looking around the room. Wait, he must. Yes, he is actually. So look, he cares so much about the vibe and is everybody having a good time, and he feeds off of that. And watching him, every time I've watched him work up close, I'm always impressed. But like, this event literally is not what it was. It's not First Blood without him working the hosting job, without him talking to the crowd, without him being there and being funny and being himself. And we are so blessed to have him here in our scene and in the Mic Masters family and staff and all of that. And so, yeah, no, I've got him as my MVP for the event.
Young the Mongo.
Bang, 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 bang.
I got you, homie.
No, man. He from a fan, from a third party perspective. Man, I loved this perspective. By the way, it was so dope. Having said that, totally wish I was there. So I'll say that too. But yeah, I think that he is more than settled into that role. I think that he's someone that'll he's on the same page as far as like that 10% that I was talking about. Like that's what you need to focus on. Like he's the first one to do that. Oh yeah, I did good, but what did we, like that's why we've been able to also like as a group like internally move like as quick as we have to places we have, is because of that focus. Also the motherfucker's funny as fuck. So that does not help, so I from a fan's perspective, he did fucking incredible. I like that Spades put there he making himself a lush tier host for real. That, I mean, you're not wrong, dog. Like, it's super funny that the off the cuff type of stuff he does. And that leads me into a segue of subscribe to Beans and Rice, man. Appreciate it. Try and learn from Scott. Big shoes. LOL.
Literally.
I think Scott wears 5s. Doesn't he wear 5? Anyway, no, I'm just joking. Subscribe to Beans and Rice.
Yeah.
Host is on. Well, he was here. I think he still is, but their whole crew, man, they have such a great time, and it's so fun to watch what type of improvisation that they do. So it does not surprise me. At the same time, I'm always entertained.
Yes.
And so big ups to Jose. Let's give him a big rap battle ovation.
Subscribe to Beans and Rice, or I will find you.
Okay, and I don't like that part, right? But the Herc. Let's give it up for the fucking Herc, y'all. Now, before, I just realized too, because I was so anxious to get this fucking episode going. Before we go any further, you guys know what to do, all right? Mike and I are going to sit back and wait, okay? Like the video and share it out. We'll wait. Also, it's free. Hit them with the fucking crickets. All right, okay, great. Thank you, guys. No, man, the Herc is again the Hip Hop Education and Resource Center here in Salt Lake City. They did I was just watching Josh and his team work before, and that's always the part that I have to go back to your point about like being behind the curtain. That's like the best part, because you like get everything set up, and also the most stressful. Mm-hmm. But you get everything set up, and then you're like, oh, cool. People feel welcome. People feel okay. People feel safe, so on and so forth. And man, the lighting was great. The ambiance was great. You could feel the the interconnecting energy within everyone. That was great, and it was super cool to watch. And so if you're in the valley, if you're not in the valley, if you're Davis County, Utah County, again, tell a friend to tell a friend. The Herc is very, very important to the scene, and I'm just so happy that we were able to make something happen there because of the first off, the importance level of making that connection made, but also to create that feeling of like what we would do at Uprock, but bigger, and that's that's like hard to duplicate. I just really loved the venue. Mike, what other what say you there?
I mean, dude, there's so much to speak about there. So first off, they were fine with us popping in that whole couple weeks leading up to the event. We were popping in and out, looking at the place. They were always welcoming to us, right? They rolled with the punches that night. They never threatened to kick us out, even though it went longer than we thought. They put up custom lighting that matched the Mic Masters colors for us. They were accommodating with bringing out chairs and making sure there was a place for our food guy to cook nachos, and they were a part of it. He was floating around being a part of it. And bro, just the amount of stress that Josh and the people at the Herc took off of our plate was crazy. And I am so excited. They already are so established in hip hop, but to finally have battle rap there as well, it just was amazing, bro. I can't thank Josh enough, and I really look forward to see what we do in the future together,
Absolutely. Just great points. It's something that it goes without saying, man, to be able to work with great people. Jose brought up or BNR. Best thing about the Herc, aside from the vibes, also being able to use the restrooms very quickly. Okay,
dude, like 3 of them.
Yo, they had fucking 18 bathrooms. It was crazy. Kid Poetic, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about there? Yo, what is this? Dance battles coming soon? What are you talking about?
I see it now.
Agreed. The people there were awesome. You can tell it's their home and what they welcome the culture. No, it's great. Yeah. It's couldn't say it any better.
Perfect.
Again, from a fan's perspective, it just looked beautiful. I felt it when we were testing the video. I was just like, oh man, this is gonna be so cool to watch. Okay. One more time before we get into this. I want to again say salute to the Mic Masters Inner Circle for those that are watching right now. You guys are our backbone. These are folks that are our members of our YouTube. They are our foundation. And thank you guys all for your support. If you would like to be a part of it or want to be a part of it, we just dropped a battle today. And we'll be dropping the rest of Mountain West Showdown 7, I think in the next 2 days. In fact, shout out to Eddie with Team Delgados. But Josh Matter versus 1010 just dropped, and there's still battles behind there right now that are waiting to drop. If you want to be a part of it, join it. Just click join, right? If you're on your desktop, if you're on your phone, iPhone in particular, you can request the website on your phone with the 3 dots, and then you can click join that way as well. But please just consider it. Support the movement. Support what we're doing because every single time that I see a rejoined, I'm just so grateful that there's even a perspective around the value that we bring and what support there is for that. So as low as $2.99, you can be a part of what we're building here in Salt Lake City and battle rap culture and beyond. So thank you guys again. All right. Mike, I've been talking about this big announcement before we talk about your. Should I do it before your battle that we talk about, or should I do it after? What do you think?
Let's do it right now. I don't know what it is, so let's do it.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Know? Okay. Spring Training 2, May 24th. So we're about 3.5 weeks away. Literally 3.5 weeks away. From Spring Training 2, it's going to be at Church and State. Okay. We will be, I believe the start time is going to be at 7, because of setup and what have you. But we're looking at that. So I'm just going to give some minor details right now. Those are static, right? The big announcement that I wanted to talk about today. I'm battling. So I am battling on May 24th at Spring Training 2.
He's on fire!
And I am very, very excited to make this announcement, because outside of everything we spoke about, this is a perfect segue from what we have been speaking about. Seeing Mike and Atheist handle their business on what they around the event, and then still put up numbers. I was like, I did well the last time I prepped myself well, and we're gonna run it. We're gonna run it again, and we might run it again after that. So May 24th, I am battling. The matchup. No, the matchup will come. The matchup will come. Yeah, the matchup will come. But I will be battling on May 24th. The matchup is already set. Finishing up booking as far as like getting his hotel booked this evening. Actually, fuck it. I'm battling Great Britain. And
Okay.
so, yeah, he just battled A Ward about 8 months ago. And he's from Anybody Can Die Battle League in Milwaukee, or in that area. And we're gonna run it. We're gonna run it, and I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. I'm excited to start announcing matchups, which I think next stream we're gonna be able to start doing that. I mean, we'll be doing it on the IG here shortly, because we also have beat battles and some performances happening. So we're making it a whole show. So Spring Training 2, May 24th. I'm just very, very excited. And that's the big announcement, because I was kind of going back and forth about it, and I was speaking to Spaze about this the other day. But flow. It felt, if you guys have not read the book, not that you should or anything, but it's by Bruce Lee's daughter, or she goes over the memoirs of it. But it's called Be Water, My Friend. It's a great book. And it all speaks about flow, and I feel a great deal of flow, and I did well on my last couple spaces battles. And what say you, Mike? What do you feel?
I'm excited. This is something that in our personal conversations I have tried to urge you to do sooner than later. And I have even told you that you're another one on my bucket list too. And I have talked about wanting this to happen for a while. So I am super excited. I also I personally am well acquainted with Great Britain. So I'm very excited to see the battle, because these are both two people that this is a style clash. We have a writer versus a comedian performer, and I am very excited to see how that plays out. And I'm just excited that you're doing it. I haven't read Be Water, My Friend, but if flow is what I think it is, then I'm glad that you feel now is the time and that everything's pushing that direction.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. And also Jay Villain, I see there we go. I appreciate you, dog. So that's the big announcement. More battle announcements to come. Some very dope matchups that are on the way. Glad to see a few guys that are back, that are going to be able to get back onto the main stage. So very happy about that. And then again, this is part of the big announcement. There's one battle that we are so close to getting locked in and getting all done. And just, we'll see. And I think it's going to be perfect. I think it's going to be one that brings a little bit more attention than me fucking battling for sure. But I can't
I
speak.
heard,
No,
I heard you had a suicidal rapper you've been talking to.
that's it.
I won't say anything else.
That's all we're doing.
I won't say anything else.
That's all we're doing. All right. So that's the announcement. I'm battling on May 24th at Spring Training 2. So, we'll be talking about that a lot more here, obviously, in the coming weeks. And if you are not following us on Instagram, please do at Mic Masters 801 on everything, literally. Oh, before we go into your battle with Little Lady Innocent, Mike, what are you feeling about these? Like the new reel? This is not the new one because I'll switch again. But what do you think about like the reels setup that I've started doing?
Honestly, just dope. For me, I'm still like learning, right? I'm still learning a lot of like what goes behind doing all that. So a lot of the times when I see the shit that you've been putting together recently, I don't even know how you're doing it. I think that the technology I'm using must be from 2012 or something, but it looks phenomenal, bro.
I'm more referring to just presentation because I think it looks clean. Like you have one view and then you have like the full view because you're like, oh man, I want to see what else is going on. I don't know, whatever.
No, I think it's dope. It looks crazy.
So I want to go through like for real, like all the battle to be like that top part where it has like the headline of the battle. Man, we have fucking flyers for everything. So it's like I could put that on literally every battle, and drop one from each battler from there. So I
love how you're always doing that. You're always thinking of ways to keep progressing and keep the promotion going to the next level. And it's just another natural progression that comes from your fucking mind when you're just locked in.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. With that said, promotion is going to be pretty heavy here soon, y'all. I'm working with Derez right now on some stuff. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. We're very excited though. Very excited. All right. So let's do it. Little Lady Innocent versus you, sir, Mike Bailey. I want to know from you, because we don't have Little Lady Innocent on here right now. From what was going through your progression? Let's talk about the 5 to 10 minutes before the battle. I want to know that part.
Wow, that is okay. So I would say that the 5 to 10 minutes before, to narrow it down to that part was the only part of the night where I allowed myself to feel nerves and stage fright. I spent the rest of the night leading up to that pretending I didn't battle. I made a few jokes about I wish I was battling first, but I ignored that I was on the card until that point. And so I was watching Spades and Atheists knowing that it was coming soon. And as we got to the end of that battle, I went to the bathroom, washed my face, and just kind of got ready, put on the game face, But I would say, I allowed myself so little time to feel nerves that when I stood there, we're getting ready to wrap. I started asking myself, are you locked in? Like, are your bars memorized? Are you going to choke? Like, all those things went through my head, but I didn't give myself the time to worry about it. And it just felt like the performance actually came out more natural and better and it came out good, easier than before because I did not allow myself to be a nervous wreck for a whole night. I only gave myself 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. First off, kudos on that for sure. Because I'm definitely going to be fucking practicing throughout the night on fucking the 24th. I'll tell you that much. Cause I'll need it. But that's impressive. I want to say that from that perspective.
I definitely rapped. Like I definitely practiced my bars. But it was just more like, hey, other guys wanted to spar, went outside and sparred with them. Whenever I was, able to go to the bathroom or able to walk outside, I practiced my bar, but I didn't think about it, right? I didn't think about it. Like, that's what I'm trying to say is that there was no stage fright until it was time to touch the stage. And that was new to me.
Man, kudos, man. I watching from my perspective for both of you guys' battles, but especially yours because let's just get into the battle now. That first round was so heavy and was one of those that you're like, oh shit, what are they gonna do? You know, and especially like with not knowing how Little Lady Innocent was gonna I don't know, you know, she hasn't been in front of someone like you. So like that's always like the first round after getting like proverbially punched, you know, you're just like, oh shit, now what are they gonna do, you know? Because like I can go off of so many battles with you that like someone says something and I'm just like literally as the host watching you, I'm just like, oh, I could literally see you just like not even getting fucking stirred, you know, because I just know what I've just watched you enough and I know you enough, you know. But like that's like the point when you first get like really hit and you're like, oh shit, I'm in a battle for real now, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the point of the circuit, to be like, oh shit, like now we're in battles for real, you know. At least to get to that point. Anyway, the point I'm making is that after that first round, I was like, damn dog, like Mike's locked in. I could you know, I could feel it through watching, you know. I was like, okay, guys, I said this even on our internal team group text. Breakout performance from Little Lady Innocent, bro. Breakout performance. The way that she clapped back in the first round, I was like, for real. I was in my car watching it because I just went and got some food. I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, because I was just like, we have a battle, bro.
Yep.
Like, we have a fucking battle, you know? And that was after the first round. And then the second round, you fucking punched even harder, you know? Like, it was like, pop, 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 pop. And then she still came back. And then the third round, you were like, nah, I'm going to clean this. Now, fuck all the, I'm trying to kill you, you know, like that type of shit. And I'll yield to you here in a moment, about what I'm saying. But, and then for her to still, you know, like the whole, like, and you have daughter. Oh man. Like the whole and I could just see you being like, God damn dog, like, good job. Like I could, like, if I was hosting, watching you type of shit, I was just watching. That's when I started to disconnect a little bit from like the fans' perspective. Cause I was like, okay, no, I'm watching now. And that's happened after the first round with Spades and Atheists. I was like, now I'm watching like as a host, you know, now I'm watching like as, you know, Mic Masters, you know, and that's a similar feeling. I was just like, after you hit with the first round, it was like it was like fan perspective, and then she started coming back, and I was like, oh, whoa, let's pay attention. Let's lock in. So from your perspective, what was that? What was you know, the clap back, and just some of your thoughts throughout the battle as those rounds progressed? I would like to hear that from you.
Yeah. Leading up to the battle, the big thing I had stressed with her, when we talked about getting her a battle, because originally I wanted to put something else in front of her first. But I had really reassured her that I believe that she has all the core ingredients it's going to take to become a battle rapper. And so I had really stressed with her that she can do it. Like she can be in a battle and punch with battle rappers. She just needs to believe in herself, right? And so I wanted to make sure that I was actually giving her a battle, that I wasn't going to sleep on her, that I wasn't going to just show up and rap. I was going to rap, you know, and it was going to be all on her. You know, she knew everything going into it that she would have to do to be successful. And it was going to be on her to be able to actually show up, meet the moment, and perform. And she did that. And that's what I really liked. And so initially, I wanted her to rap first. I did not want to rap first. And she wins the coin toss and tells me to rap first. And I'm like, are you sure? All right. So I go there, I rap. I bring my normal energy. I put on my villain face. I do what I do when I'm in the ring. And, you know, I rap, and I rap well. And she comes back and she raps well. And at that point, I was like, oh, good. Here we go. We have a battle. She's meeting the moment. People are going to love this battle. And I knew going into it that the room was against me, but I felt like that's how I wanted it to be. I wanted to be I wanted to be the bad guy, you know? And so I played that role the best that I could, and she did everything that I could have hoped that she would do and some more. I loved her performance. I loved my performance. I really, I don't know. Like as I watched her rap, I was like, oh, I'm looking at kind of like a female Arsenal. And I know that sounds kind of weird to say, but like she doesn't really punch. Like there was very few punches, but she did so good at being personable and throwing out angles and riding those angles to the finish line, just like I was doing. Like I was doing my normal punching stuff, but I had angles, and she had angles. And like I felt like, oh, here we are. We're in a battle that just got personal. She met the moment. She can battle rap.
Yeah. Not. Yeah, I mean, you know.
He's on fire.
I saw a comment here. Just wish you'd slow down and let shit breathe. Look,
That comes with time.
I was gonna say. I mean, I don't not. Yeah, I don't disagree. But having said that, I thought that she let enough breathe. I'll say that shit. You know,
Yeah.
let enough breathe. And but I, you know, if I don't mind that. You know that perspective, because again that goes back to the 10% thing, you know, like let's just focus on the 10% part. What I'll say, that's interesting. That's an interesting comparison. I do think that like even when I think about like Hitman Holla, like obviously legend, but man, it's not like super big punches or anything, you know. It's like and no way comparing her to Hitman Holla, by the way. But I understand and resonate with what your perspective is about that.
Yeah.
I do think that she had punches for sure, you know.
She
I
had
mean,
some. Yeah, she had some, but that's not what made her rounds good. Like if we were just judging off of punches, it wasn't even close. But but what she did well was she took her angles and she actually made them stick. She actually made people try angles with me all the time, and it usually fails. But with her, her angles worked because she put a lot of effort, energy, and time into staying consistent. Like she wasn't just saying, I'll shoot you and then I'll pop you like this and then I'll tell this to happen and then I'm fly like a blank and that. It wasn't that. It was this is my thesis and I'm sticking to it.
that's right. Yeah, no, I when I'm referring to like even the breakout performance, it really goes back to like the initial piece of like getting having a round that can really jar you off your stoop, and not getting jarred, and being in a battle. And you know, hindsight's 2020. I just looked at her battle with Phoenix, and shortly after that, like last week, and I was just like, oh man, this was kind of like already happening. And but you just never know when you're like in front of someone like consistently. Like
I specifically remember telling you guys though that I seen stuff that I felt like other people hadn't maybe seen at that moment, because everybody was like, I don't know if I like this battle. And I kept telling everybody, just trust me. Just trust me. You know, I knew.
You told me too, you know.
Yes, I knew she was a star in the making. And I'm glad that she took such a big swing so early, because now it's not going to look crazy when we put her against other people that are coming up through the ranks. It does not look crazy because she just showed that she can battle.
Man, she's a rapper, bro. You know.
Yes.
I was more nervous all the positive reaction she was getting and how hype it got, throwing her off her game, and she plowed through. It was dope. Hey, that's also a thing. And Mike, you know that too. Like you can get you can get a dope reaction, and be like, oh shit. You know, like, oh no, you know, like shut the fuck up, you know, like that type of shit. And it's great, you know. That's a great point. That's a great point. I think that, again, not off the scorecard. I do think that there was, because I'll say this about from your perspective, as far as my like watching, I just feel like I wish you would have detached away from that angle, because you went with that same angle for all 3 rounds, and I wish you would have just detached from that and at least one round, like the 3rd round, and just been something different.
Well, and I think I did. The third was more about Mic Masters as a whole.
I don't disagree. But there were still elements of that were
and
still
like, yeah, there was some still sprinkled in there, but like the whole like you new battlers can't take the static. Since Mic Masters the conductor, I think it's time we face the music. Like I was more so talking to the whole class.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I think even stepping off the gas in general on that a little bit, and to for me personally, okay, I think would have definitely been a little bit more of a showing of your tool belt, because you're not one angle guy throughout the whole thing. And I was just I was just looking for the the next topic to be really like leaned into. And then when you start touching on it in the third, it just felt like with the personability that she had already created, and also, honestly, that daughter's line was like,
Yeah, that was a good line.
I mean, to your point, that's not even like the biggest punch, but that's as far as like punchlines are concerned, right?
No, but that's what I'm saying is like that's where my Arsenal comparison comes.
Your point. I was going to go back to your point. That took me back to like this realism piece, of just being like, oh,
Yeah.
like you understand, like you just understand rap and where to like do that. And so that was just super impressive. And there were a couple other pieces laden through, and I I had a sheet in my backpack that I took out earlier for notes at work, but I do have it at a slight edge or two on her, but it's a slight edge. So again, with this minus the scorecard, but I do feel as though I think the third is the one where that's like the one that could flip, because of what we're talking about right now. I think the second is a clear her for sure. And I think the first is also that debatable one. I had to get away from when I first like watched it. I was just so focused on the clapback, and so I was like, okay, hold on, cool. I enjoyed the moment. Now let me zoom out, and the first and the third are the ones that are like, did you like lean too heavy? Was there enough punches that hurt, or just enough that really created like moments around? She had a lot. I would say that she had maybe two more moments in that whole battle than you. So it's like hard for me on that part, right? So that's where my scoring comes from. Again, this is all just in my head as I'm watching it. Even on a second watch, that's some of my feedback to you a little bit.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with anybody's judgments on that battle. I was 100% hoping that she would meet the moment, and 100% overjoyed that she met the moment.
Yeah. Josh, you said you think it was a clear 30. Was that for Mike? You just didn't put hashtag OT, so I don't know what that means. And then Jay Villain put it here. She won by 1 point on my card, and I get that. Yeah, and I get that. I could, like I said, I think that there could have. I already said my piece. I just wish, like, even
see, and that's and I actually I appreciate what you're saying about, I'm not a one angle rapper, and I could have I could have, because a lot of times I will have 3 rounds that have 3 different angles, right? And I could have, but in this scenario, I already knew going into it, I'm the bad guy. Let me play it out.
Yeah. No, even when you are, but you were the bad guy, like, or you were the Utah guy against Dre Den. I mean, you're just not.
Yeah, but let's just put it this way. I set out to do exactly what I wanted to do and said I was going to do, and she did the only thing I could have hoped for.
Yeah,
which was stand in there with me and rap.
That's right. Yeah.
And I love the battle. The battle. I don't care if someone says I won 3-0, lost 3-0. That's a battle.
Yeah, it's a great battle. The whole fucking event was amazing. If you have not watched it yet, you're tripping.
Yeah. I mean, we can speak to at the end. There was the battle of two people who had their rounds for other people.
There you go. Go ahead. Hit that.
Yeah. So Scott,
this has never happened. You haven't never done this, so go ahead.
Yeah. So Scott was behind this. This was Scott's decision. Initially, we had known that Roe's opponent wasn't going to show up. We informed Roe he still wanted to come out, and we had offered him to get on the live stream and wrap his rounds to show the hard work he put in, and then he would still have a video to show that, hey, this is what I did with, my rounds, okay? And then when Tyler also we found out he wasn't gonna show up later on, and when that happened, now Phoenix doesn't have an opponent, and these two are cousins. They have a good relationship with each other, but I think that they were willing to do it because their rounds weren't about each other, right? And so Scott had put the idea that they would battle each other like they were the opponent, right? And it was just a regular battle format, and I thought it was dope. I thought Phoenix showed tons of progression. I thought Phoenix had really good rounds. I thought that Roe showed a lot of good progression. I thought that he got his rounds out clear. He rapped. He had aggression, and he's unorthodox, right? And he's gonna be somebody that takes some getting used to for some battle rap fans, because he doesn't punch where we think he should punch. And he writes a little bit differently, but there is a lane for that. I mean, that's why people like Fox.
Yeah.
He's unorthodox.
Yep.
And so I thought it was dope. I'm so glad that Scott put that together. That was all Scott. I can't take any credit. It was his idea. He put it together. It ended up being really dope. There obviously was the tension, towards the end of that battle. And that just, it's battle rap. Sometimes it happens. The important part is that, me and Scott, we stood in between it. We made sure nothing happened. We walked people to their cars. We made sure everybody got home safe. I was able to talk to Little Lady Innocent's camp and make sure that they were all going to get home safe and have a good night and know that the drama doesn't need to continue. I was able to talk with Phoenix and her camp, make sure they understood the same thing and we get home safe. And, it just happens sometimes. It's battle rap. Nobody got hurt. That's what matters.
Yeah. What I will say to that is, don't fucking do that.
Don't do it. Yeah, don't do it. But nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
So thank God for that.
Also, if you are battling and you call someone out first in the crowd and they happen to clap back, I mean, it's always just as in life, who shot first. So keep that fucking shit in mind too. Don't just fucking all right.
And I'm gonna add to that. Okay, that is a great point. The one thing I would add to that is that never does two wrongs make a right. So if you are rapping, you're going to call somebody out in the crowd and they're going to fire back. That's to be expected. Don't get mad when that happens. Roll with the punches. Freestyle off it if you got to. But, that's just a part of the performance. Embrace it. That's great. Also, if you are in the crowd and there's a battle, please don't feel the need to disrupt the battle and be a part of the battle as well. I think on both sides, this is all rap. If you guys want to rap again, we could set that up. But this is all rap. Let's not interrupt battles. And let's not call out people in the crowd if we're not ready for our battles to be interrupted. I guess what I'm trying to point out here is that you either got to take the high road all the time, or you can't be mad when things like this happen. But at the same time, you gotta conduct yourself with maturity on both sides.
Yeah. We'll move on from that. I think the final there is, put some respect on each other's fucking name, put some respect on other people's name, and go out there and fucking rap. That's the bigger point. If you have something to air out, I don't know that a fucking battle. I I mean, very, Phoenix, for all intent, you very well may not even had that recourse to be able to have done that. So my question is, like, would you have done that anyway? Like when the event was over, type of shit. That type of shit. So it all comes back to that a little bit for me too. So don't fucking do it. And I'm very, very proud of our community and our fans that have come out and have enjoyed themselves without that, without having some sort of feeling that something was going to come up. So I'm glad they handled it the way that they did. And
this is battle rap. We say crazy shit about each other and then we hug. Okay.
Yeah. Salute for. I've been looking for this battle on the channel, but couldn't find it. Yo, what's up, Luke Ness? Yo, it's up right now. Josh Matter versus 1010. As Luke Ness is talking right now. More are coming on the way. Cool to see him. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's what's up. And then agreed. They were ready. Everyone was ready. Anyone also had also great set. Everyone should. And we spoke about that at the beginning, but we can speak about that now again. Yeah. I thought I loved how MC Anyone was talking to the camera. I mean, rapping to the camera, dog. He was like full into like the whole pay-per-view, and I appreciated the shit out of that. Mixer Mike, man, he annihilated that shit. He did it. Yeah. Speak a little bit about that,
dude. Battle rap is what we are at the core, but battle rap is just one element of hip hop.
That's right.
And I think a lot of times when we are so focused on battle rap, it's hard to remember that sometimes. And, we've seen Mic Masters do it with beat battles and DJs and things like this. And live performances like Zach Ivy in the past performed. And we've seen it before. And so that was a big part of when we were putting the show together, is wanting to continue that, of bringing forth other elements of hip hop. And in the future, I hope that there's even more, whether that is the B-boys, whether that is the graffiti artists, whatever that may be, the beat battles, the performers, the DJs, the battle rappers, all of us, man, we're all hip hop. And so to see with anyone specifically on his performance, like you just spoke to, him going towards the crowd and the camera, that was dope, because I think he recognized that he had two crowds. He had his crowd that was there in person, and then he had his crowd that was watching from their phones or their computers or their TVs at home. And so it was a high IQ play to rap towards the camera like it was a battle. And then you can't say enough good things about Mixer Mike. He's just amazing at what he does. Right. And there was a lot of moments that, when you're on the live stream, you don't get to see every moment of the show sometimes. And in this case, every time that you guys weren't seeing something, Mixer Mike was entertaining. So again, big shout out to both of them. Big shout out to the Herc. Big shout out to everybody, man. What a big shout out to Nicholas Carroll with So Elephant. That's his company. He does food and catering and things like that for events. Every single person who played a part of this event, bro, we cannot thank you enough.
Man, I resonate with that. And any finals, bro, before we get out of here, let me know. Real quick, Josh, noted. I know I just commented that. Noted about getting JJ to perform. That's actually, thank you for reminding me about that. Okay, go ahead, Mike. Any just on the whole episode as a full, and
no, I would say again, man, Atheist, bro, this is so fun doing this with you. When you watch this, I know you're probably watching it. So honored to be able to do this with you. And Nate, thank you so much for putting us in this position to be a part of Mic Masters in such a big way. First Blood was titled First Blood for a reason. We wanted this event to be battle rap. We wanted it to, bring that that visual of blood being drawn, right? So it is only First Blood. There are more events coming soon. Right now we are full throttle looking at spring training 2, and once that wraps up, the circuit will be making announcements. But again, man, I'm just so excited to be a part of all this. Thank you everybody who had anything to do with this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than it's official Mike Bailey, and where is Pat Maine?
You brought up a good part, Jose. It's you get lost in the mix, and I was thinking about another person too as you were saying that, but G Life set it off with his performance, and I'm just so proud of him. Also, his book that just came out as well, Going Indie Now. Man, get that on Amazon right now.
Yes.
And that, I mean, in general, what George provides outside of him being part of the team or what have you, and making sure that everyone's beautiful face is being captured, and all that piece, what he was able to do as far as performing is concerned. It's not up to me to inform y'all anything else outside of I'm just so proud of him, and he doesn't take any days off when it comes to performing. So like when he was, I just, again, one of those things where you just sit back as a fan. I was listening and then I would look at my phone because, my phone was right there, but I'm like kind of moving around and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, this is so cool. Just if I can hear George perform. He's again, not just an integral member, but one of those guys that you're like, damn, it's so cool to watch him back in his element of being like one of those rappers that has really, really dedicated himself to the craft, and it comes on full display through a performance. So, Jose, I appreciate you bringing that back up. Yeah. And making sure that, we tap in on that. Any thoughts on George performing?
No, you hit everything, man. It's so hard to remember every person who plays a part of this, but literally every single person who's a part of it, bro, it's so important, and he deserves recognition just as much as everybody else. So, it's hard to remember everything. If I miss you, I am sorry. I love you.
With how George did, like, actually, now that I'm tapping into this, with his performance, the way that there was like this concerted effort on himself to be able to stay tapped into like the bags that he gets in, because he goes into pockets when he raps, and it's just so cool to listen to him. Like outside of being his friend, man, when I first met George, and dog, he was part of Bomb City with Mad Max all the way back in like 2008, bro. This goes all the way back then, and I remember fucking being like, dog, like because he was then and still has like that notoriety now amongst at least my peer group, that like this guy is a fucking grinder, rapper, and one of those folks that you just like look up to. How did you get this? How did you get that? How did you get this? Which goes back to his book, Going Indie Now. Like, it just like there's so many gems in that fucking book that people can take from. I'm always consistently asking for advice. So to go to his performance and setting that tone, anyone, I feel like, and I don't think I'm super wrong on this at all, knowing Ray, that he knew that he had to bring it too, so big ups on that for sure. Also, big shout out to Kid
Poetic.
Yeah, Kid Poetic for getting all of that content from the judges and what have you, and just in general being around and getting, from what I could see. I mean, maybe Mike, you could speak into more, on that.
Yeah, dude, it just, again, it's so hard to remember every little piece sometimes, and it's not from a lack of appreciation. Dude, there was so many moving pieces that night, and Kid Poetic was really on his game. Every time a battle finished, he was taking one group of judges to a completely separate room, conducting interviews, getting thoughts, and then boom, gets those judges back in, ready to intercept the next group of judges, right? He's doing that the whole time. It's part of the machine. It's moving. It's all these pieces. And then whenever there's an intermission going on, he's running around with another camera, getting the crowd and getting people, staff, getting rappers, and all the cool stuff that you're going to see with interviews, a lot of the cool B-roll footage you're going to see, he was behind a lot of that. And, the same thing, dude, George, he was on his feet longer than anybody else in that room, period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And Hiram, man, fucking first event.
Man, that dude, dog. I interviewed with him like a little bit before that, or the week of and shit. And he was like, "Oh yeah, dog, I think I'm gonna be there." I was like, "What the fuck? What do you mean you're gonna be there?" And man, he did, just showed up, man. Like this pseudo part of the team, and obviously, there's so much to be kind of extrapolated from that, but just big ups to Hiram. Also, I think is it Keno? Is it Keno, the main cam operator? Is that who that was, Mike? Keno. Shout out to him. He's he's also over at the Friday Night Fallout show with Keith on 90.9 every Friday from 10 to 1 a.m. And that was my first time meeting him, and that was cool that he made that. He, that was a baptism by fire from his perspective. But super proud to see that worked out. So, folks were really, really involved and really putting things together, man. When's your next event? We just spoke about it, May 24th. Mic Masters Alliance presents Spring Training 2. And we will be going over, matchups throughout the, after this. I mean, I'm solidifying 2 last ones, 1 more beat battle potentially, and then one more performer. So it's going to be a packed fucking show at Church and State here in Salt Lake City. Start time is looking at about 7:00 Mountain Standard Time. But you will know everything, bro. And I appreciate you asking that. Northwest 360, I appreciate you. Also, no eminent, all good, but I appreciate you, dog. Nah, man. Shout out to the chat for real. Kid, the silent assassin. All right, man. That's it. That's what we got today. Run it back. Episode Who Gives a Fuck. My name's Gabino Grhymes. This is Mic Masters at Mic Masters 801 on everything. And again, shout out to our inner circle, our members. If you have not joined yet, you can see that folks have joined. You can notice here on your screen right now, you can see this little icon indicating that they are in fact a member. There are emojis. I saw that Venom put a bunch of Mike Bailey emojis out there, but all sorts of shit. And we out, man. That's it.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
I am official Mike Bailey on all platforms. Also, MMA The Circuit on all platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the good stuff. As we've said before, if you're looking to battle, message us. If you have any cool matchup ideas, message us. If you want to get involved and see if there's a place for you here in the scene, just message us. MMA The Circuit on all platforms.
At The Circuit 801 on all platforms. That's what it is. Peace.
Well, in my head, it sounded better than that. In my head, it sounded better than that. In my head, it sounded better than that. Let me stretch out on this, bro. I feel real good. Gabino. 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 This that, get up and grind.